Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, please remember to hit the little bell and subscribe button down at the bottom so you'll get notified of all my latest and greatest. With the star right around the corner, I wanted to take a moment and show y'all something. I know a lot of you probably dye eggs for Easter and Ostara, so I wanted to show y'all a DIY way if you didn't want to use the chemical dyes. So here goes. You're going to need your hard-boiled eggs. I'm doing mine in the shell, so hard-boiled eggs. Some bowls, something to sit it on just in case you make a mess. I'm using some espresso coffee, some butterfly pea flowers, beetroot powder, and blueberries, dried blueberries. And I'm going to use some of my turmeric vitamins since I don't have no plain turmeric, and some red wine. Well, let's get started. Alright, so we got 8 blueberries, dried blueberries. I did 3 capsules of the turmeric. And then the butterfly pea flowers, if I can get into them. Since it says to use 5 or 6 for a cup of tea, we are going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 of the butterfly pea flowers. I guess we'll come over here to the beetroot powder. Now you don't have to measure the shit out, but for this video I figured I would. I'm going to use a tablespoon of the beetroot powder. That smells so good. And a tablespoon of the espresso. And we're going to use a half a cup of wine. You could probably just cover the egg up with wine and leave it. Let's see. Okay, so then we're going to take a little measuring cup, and I'm going to put some water in some of these. I'm going to do a cup of water with the blueberries. Well, do a cup and a half of water with the blueberries because you want enough water to ideally cover the egg. But as you can see, part of my egg is not covered because I'm so not trying to make a mess. It's about 2 cups for these bowls, but I'm not making a mess. So we're going to stick to a cup and a half, and I will just have to roll the egg a little bit. And I did use warm water for this, but you really could use cool or cold. And because we've already put a half a cup of wine over there, you're not going to use a half a cup of water. It ain't going to fit. So I'm just going to use a cup of water. And there we have it. So we will come back in a few hours and see how it's going. Welcome back, everyone. It has been about 9 hours of the eggs dyeing. So we're going to rinse them off and see how they did. The blueberry, you can't really tell a whole lot. It did do a little bit. If I don't drop the blueberry, the egg blueberry. So we're going to actually leave it overnight. Like I said, this has only been about 8 hours. This is the beetroot. You can see where I kind of left it unrolled. Then we have the turmeric. The turmeric did really well. The video you can't see as good in, but turmeric actually did a really pretty orange. The butterfly pea flowers didn't do much of shit. It turned it maybe an off-white color, but as you can see, the water's really blue, so we're going to let it sit. The wine, the red wine with water, it did some weird shit. It did like a little design, but it didn't do all that great because when you take your finger to it, it like comes off. It kind of is gross, actually. I do not recommend the wine one. All right, and now we have the espresso coffee. I think that's probably the best one out of all of them. You can see where I didn't roll it enough, but it is a pretty like brownish color. There's no weird shit coming off of this one. But I am going to leave it overnight, and I will update y'all tomorrow. Alright, it's been about 12 hours, and this is the results. The blueberries, it really didn't do a whole lot. It's like an off-white color. The beetroot, I think, made a pretty good egg. It turned it brown. The turmeric did really good, I think. It made it a very orangey color. I ended up adding elderberry, about right under a tablespoon of elderberry, with the sweet pea flowers, or butterfly flowers, because it just was not doing anything. And it turned out pretty good. You can see where I didn't roll it through the night. The wine, I'm still not a fan of. It still has, like, weird gunk. Turned out pretty, but it's got, like, a gunk to it when you rub it. It kind of comes off. See? I don't know. And then the espresso one pretty much came out like a brown egg. But all in all, here they are.